Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy StumpD back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're diving back in to the 40 stamina against Luffy and Whitebeard, the Save, Ace, Pops, and the Young Brother event, and I have two more teams for you guys. Now, I'm going to showcase sort of like a free-to-play-ish kind of team, a very accessible team for you guys, and then just like an Unga Bunga Whale team, and just sort of compare the pair. So, the first team you guys are going to see looks a little bit like this. It is a full free-to-play team. However, we do have two supports that are actually legends. You do need to go around 5 turns of bind on the final stage. So, like, utilizing Ace and Neko is actually really, really good for this particular team because you can get around the bind that way. Now, there are no guaranteed drops on this particular team. However, you do have 2 characters that have a 75% chance of drops, as well as 3 characters that have a 50% chance of extra drops. With Sengoku, you're getting at least 2 extra drops as well. So, like, worst case scenario, you will get 2 there. And all these characters are free to play, so you can farm them all up. We have Kazuna Ivankov to remove damage reduction. He's also quite a good captain because his whole team is actually free spirit or cerebral, which is quite nice. He actually uses attack boost, he removes damage reduction. Then we've got Crocodile. Crocodile's awesome because he can just be a chain boundary unit. You can also use the Mr. 1 support if you have Mr. 1. That's another way of getting around damage reduction, and then you could just replace the Ivankov with another int unit. Remember, you do have to bring every single type to this particular fight, which can make it a little bit challenging. Now, Bullet, he's a 75% chance to drop. He's just a color affinity booster, really, but he does damage, which means we can use Opera, a free-to-play support that gets around to spare. Luffy and Whitebeard, this is the character you're actually be farming for, so like do some of the 30 staminas on like auto to get this character because they're actually really good. I didn't touch on their captain ability in the previous video. But if, like, when they're, like, captain, they're just a 3 times attack boost to the entire crew. Makes tandem and recovery slots matching. And reduces paralysis and despair by 1 turn, which is actually pretty nice. Now, the final unit on the team is actually this treasure map chopper. The latest treasure map unit that did release over on OPTC. I totally forgot about this unit and actually what he does. Because he has such a, like, crazy special that, like, I just totally glossed over the fact that he removes both special blind and burn. And he's actually boosted for this particular event, which works very, very nicely. So that's the team we're going to dive in with today. I also have the Unga Bunga Whale team because I just want to sort of show you guys how it operates. It's a lot of fun, and I thought it'd be really, really cool to actually showcase as well. It looks a little bit like this, with obviously Sengoku and the full batch on the team, all of the super types popping, and we'll have a chat about some of that stuff as well. So let's dive into the content, and let's take on the 40 stamina event. Alright, so here we are with that free-to-play team. Unfortunately, we do have 2 supports that aren't free-to-play, so I guess we can't call it full free-to-play, but it's pretty damn close. The 2 legends, they've been out for a little while, and all of these characters are free-to-play, so you can farm them up. We do have a friend captain, Sengoku, however. Make sure to find some friends for this, especially if you are farming the 40 stamina, because you really want those extra 2 drops. It's quite important. With the German ship as well, you can actually get all your cooldowns at the start of the fight as well. Obviously, with the boosted stats and getting 2 turns of cooldown with that ship, it works out very, very nicely. On the first 2 turns, you're just going to basically make your way through the fodder stages. There's nothing too crazy about them. They're just like a bunch of lackeys that you can either stall on for specials if you need to. But ideally, with this point farming event, you don't really want to stall for specials. Jozu and Vista are on stage 3. They have 2 turns of damage reduction. They give you 2 turns of despair after sockets and a full board of unfavorable slots. Now, this is where our bullet special is going to come in clutch. Sengoku's going to make all of those orbs, negative orbs beneficial, which is kind of nice. And then with the special of our bullet, we can remove the despair thanks to Opera. We're going to wrap it up with Ivankov. He rotates our orbs, but that doesn't really matter. He's mainly just there for an attack boost as well as removing the damage reduction. Now, if you want to, you can use Mr. 1 on Crocodile. That is definitely an option for you guys. It should actually work very nicely, and that way you can get around the damage reduction that way. Then you could probably replace Ivankov with another unit. However, Ivankov, like I said, he's a great captain. And that extra attack boost you get there works out quite nicely. Because on stage 4, you either come up against Marco or you come up against Jinbei. Now, against Marco, he's a strength unit. So you want an orb on your quick character. And if you come up against Jinbei, he's a quick unit, so you want an orb on your dex unit. You get 5 turns of special bind and 5 turns of burn, and this is where that chopper special is absolutely clutch, because he can remove 5 turns of both of them, which is awesome. He also gives resistance down for Psy characters for 20%, which is, like, it's nice. It's nothing crazy. And then with Croc, we can get the chain boundary because our captain's a striker, thanks to Whitebeard and Luffy. And then we can actually utilize our Luffy and Whitebeard special. Because we have one of every color on the team, we get a 2.25 times color affinity boost and orb boost, which is actually very, very nice. They also give themselves a tandem slot, which is great. This particular team doesn't actually have access to the super type of Sengoku. However, it really doesn't need it, as we're basically just relying on all the damage of our specials to actually get through this particular stage. Once you do kill Marco or Jinbei, you actually get captain swap to your bottom row, whether that be Chopper or whether that be Ivankov. It doesn't matter too much. The only character that doesn't get boosted under Ivankov is Bullet, so you just make sure you start your chain with Bullet. However, Luffy and Whitebeard will actually turn into either a Dex unit or an Int unit, and if they turn into Dex, Bullet doesn't hit hard at all because he has type disadvantage, so don't sweat about that anyway. On the final stage, you will get blinded on your captain, and if any other character on your crew has the same type as your captain, they will also get blinded. So, as you guys saw, Chopper got as our captain, so Sengoku copped the bind. They also have 5 turns of defense up on this stage as well, but for this particular team, we don't even have to worry about it because the 4 times attack and orb boost that Sengoku gives with the chain boundary effect from Crocodile is more than enough damage to actually take out Whitebeard and Luffy here. As long as you just hit your perfects, you should be absolutely hunky-dory here. Obviously, our units aren't going to be doing too much damage, except for Whitebeard and Luffy, who do all of the damage because we are doing all of that back-ended stuff. So, that was a free-to-play team. Like I said, Ace and Cat Viper, legend supports, and I get it's not completely free-to-play, but all of the characters are farmable for you guys. And even though this event kind of sucks a little bit, you really don't need to have all the batch. Now, remember, you're going to get a guaranteed 2 drops. You have a 75% chance on another 2 drops, and then a 50% chance on the other 3. So we just missed out on 2. A little bit unfortunate, but nevertheless, it's not that big of a deal. On to the whale team now. Alright, so onto the whale team now. I kind of just want to show you guys how this team actually operates. And I want to have a discussion about Sengoku and his batch whilst we actually make our way through this. Now, I understand a lot of people don't rate this particular Sengoku very high, and rightfully so. I don't think he's like a crazy legend. I don't think he's a super powerful legend. I don't think he's anywhere close to being even in the top 20. He is a super tandem unit, which in my opinion makes him very good. Any character that has a super tandem ability, in my opinion, automatically is a cut above the rest because super tandem is one of the most powerful abilities in the entire game. Nevertheless, I do agree with 99% of people that say, oh, this legend's underwhelming, or this legend kind of sucks, or what were they trying to achieve with this legend and its batch. However, I do disagree in the regards of this being a bad thing. This is not a bad thing at all. Sengoku is the perfect cooldown batch for where we're at in the game right now. We have half anniversary coming up in a month, and then we have New Year's at the back end after just copying 3 Super Sugos. So, look, I don't know about you guys, but this is a very, very good thing. In my opinion, this is a great thing. The fact that Sengoku is basically the perfect cooldown. Not only that, but his batch and the units that came along with him are actually incredibly innovative. As you guys just saw there, we actually activated Fuji's special. We became the captain, and you could choose to become the captain. You can say no. You don't have to become the captain. However, if you do become the captain, you can then activate the super type. And if you activate the super type, you get a 2.5 times color affinity just for that unit, and then you actually can reverse the captain swap, which is awesome. So for this stage against Jinbei or Marco, depending on who you need as your captain, or for the color affinity, for example, we do need Kizaru, we're actually going to activate Kuzan first. It says, hey, would you like to become captain? We can say no to that. Then we can activate Kizaru. Kizaru, yeah, sure, we'd love Kizaru to become our captain. And then we can activate the super type of Kizaru. With any of these units, you can get super type for every single color, which in my opinion is absolutely insane. Obviously, one unit on this team for the Sengoku team is only going to have that super type. But at the end of the day, every single character is going to have super type. Not only that, but they actually have decent captain abilities, provided you have every color on the team. But that actually doesn't matter, because if you don't have every color on the team, you just stop them from being a captain. You just stop. Also, a funny thing to mention is their final tap is not exclusive to the final stage, which is very, very odd. It's actually really, really cool. So on stage 4 against Jinbei or Marco, you can actually get the final tap with the Kizaru unit. They all have very, very powerful Sailor abilities. When you hit with a tandem orb, they give the resistance buff, debuff for 10%. Sengoku gives 15%, and they're actually really, really cool. Every single one of the batch, the rare recruits, have an extra ability as well, that if you have one of every type, you get an extra buff. This doesn't mean that these characters can't be used outside of this particular team. They definitely can be used on other teams. However, obviously, they are going to shine the most when they are either on Sengoku's team or on a team where you have one of every single color. Nevertheless, though, you can still get defense up removal, you can still get bind removal with an Akainu by putting him on any team that he fits on. He then becomes the captain. You can give him the super type just for this one turn and then switch back. It's like, I don't understand why everyone's complaining so much about these particular characters and saying that they're so restricted to what Sengoku actually provides. Obviously, I definitely agree. They definitely give a much bigger buff for the Sengoku team. They are a much better unit on the Sengoku team. I am not discrediting that. But that goes for pretty much every single unit that's come out alongside a legend, every single batch that has come out. And obviously, these particular characters are going to be tailor-made to the particular piece of content that we have at the moment, which is the point farming event. Now, do I like that? No, I don't love it. But you guys asked for hard content. We've got hard content. So if you guys are going to complain about like Unga Bunga Sugos, Unga Bunga damage, and then turn around and then be like, well, this unit sucks when they give us something innovative, or they give us some hard content and they build it around that weird sort of intricate stuff, you got to remember you can't have your cake and eat it too. But nevertheless, there was a little bit of a free-to-play team for you guys there to take down the 40 stamina event, because I do know most people aren't loving this particular fight. Nevertheless, the Sengoku team and the Sengoku batch are a lot of fun, and hopefully I can showcase that to you guys moving forward with some other content. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys want to see. While you're down there, belt the like button. Most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are in this beautiful world. Hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Lates!